Film number 1, Nope, released on August the 12th, 2022. Directed by Jordan Peele, starring Daniel Kaluuy as O.J. Hayward, Keke Palmer as Emerald Hayward, Brandon Perea as Angel Torres, and Stephen Yeun as Ricky Duke Park. The residents of a lonely gulch in inland California bear witness to an uncanny and chilling discovery.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Hey!
Giles, were you entertained?
Nope.
Amari, were you entertained?
Maybe yes.
I knew he was going to fucking say that.
Some things never change. Kyle, were you entertained?
Yes.
Bastard.
Interesting.
Was you entertained?
Not a chance in hell. Who's starting this? Who's starting this?
Nope.
Who's starting this?
I say maybe. And
No, you can't sit on the fence.
It's true, because we don't sit on the fence with that.
Okay, but I said maybe yes. Isn't it? So I said
You
yes.
said yes. You said yes.
Alright, so because obviously, if a film looks like Juju to me, as we know, everyone knows, if it's Juju, I don't want to watch it. Now this looked like Juju from the way it was portrayed, and then I found out that it's about aliens, kind of, somehow, somewhat, false. And then I was like, ooh, now I'm entertained. And that's why I said maybe entertained. Yes. And that's my only point for this whole film.
What was entertaining about this film? Please tell me.
There was 2 parts. One when I thought it wasn't Juju and it's about aliens, made it entertaining. Just the idea that it wasn't about Juju and it was about aliens made it entertaining to me.
Pause. That's you adding your own entertainment into the film. That doesn't necessarily mean what you saw was entertaining.
Yeah, but you asked me why I was entertained and I told you why.
No, but if I go to watch a film and I'm thinking about something else that I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's my own entertainment. That's nothing that what you're seeing or hearing is entertaining.
No, but it's about the film because obviously all these films are like horror, Juju, whatever related. And when it transitioned to a different kind of conversation, I was like, oh, this is entertaining. So yes, I was kind of entertained. That's why I put the maybe.
So it was the suspense. The suspense entertained you.
And I also like the fact, I haven't done no fact finding though. I like the fact that it was based on the first original Black Horse Handler technique behind it. I did find that kind of entertaining. Like, it was knowledgeable. I like getting knowledged. I haven't done any fact finding on this though, so I have to come back to you with that. So bear with me. And I also thought Gordo was very entertaining for Gordo's killing spree. I thought that was entertaining. I never seen a man get pounded like that by a fur. It was nice.
It was nice.
Yeah.
That's the word you're choosing to use, nice. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't want to go out like that, but I'm saying it's a nice way to see somebody get killed. You know.
Wow. It's a bit dark, isn't it, Amari? It's a bit dark.
I'm sorry. I think you was just bored. When did you see this film?
Today.
Okay, so maybe you were so excited about this recording that's what is providing some of the entertainment for you. But now, this film was dead. I knew it. I said to you, I think Jordan Peele is a one-trick pony. I think he got lucky with Get Out. Brilliant film, masterpiece. You know, that will always be remembered. It was very innovative. Great film. 5 stars. Can't say anything there.
See, just to touch on Get Out. I don't think he got lucky with it. I think it was actually a good film.
When I say got lucky, I mean in the sense of, no, it was a great film, but I think he got lucky in being able to make a film of that caliber. So maybe it's not luck. Maybe that's the wrong thing to say. I think it was a brilliant. No, you're right. It's a brilliant film.
There are haters in this room.
Do you know what it is though? When a man gives, all right, let's be relative. When a director makes numerous films and only one of them is on that level, that's where I think the kind of you've caught lightning in a bottle once and that's it. Whereas if you look at some directors that churn out classics, churn out at least 4-star films, you know, okay, this is a credible, smart, brilliant director. Someone who's won for 3 now, and that's my personal opinion.
But Get Out was his first film, so he's still making his niche to grow
that's what I was
for
gonna
himself and the directive enjoyment of others. He's still got time. It's not like he's 10 films down the line.
I understand that, but this film was dead.
It wasn't dead. It wasn't dead.
Can I just say, I although I wasn't entertained, it wasn't a dead film. I think the pacing of the film was off. in all over the film. But I like. So going back to, if you go over his filmography, so like you said, he's made Get Out. It was very easy to follow along. It was a very easy watch. Yes, there was some symbolism, but again, it was obvious. Then he's come with Us. So he established himself with Get Out. We can't deny him that. Then he's come with Us, and yeah, it wasn't to everyone's taste. And in actual fact, I was thinking about this today. Us was one of the reasons why we even started this podcast in the first place, because I think I remember having a back and forth over it via WhatsApp, and I was like, no, we need to put this shit on. We need to start the podcast. And then you come to Nope, and yeah, it's blatantly not obvious the mess, because he's all about messages, and it's blatantly not obvious. It's not in your face as to what he is trying to say or trying to put across. So as much as I wasn't entertained, I don't actually think, on reflection, because I only saw this today as well, on reflection, having kind of looked up, well, what was he trying to say here? What was the meaning of that? Why did he do that? Yeah, it wasn't at all a bad film. I just think the pacing, the film for me was in two bits. It was in two halves. You had the first half, which was incredibly, seemed like, what's going on here? Got horses, monkeys, flashbacks, this, that, till the second half, which was quite, okay, we figured out what's going on. We figured out we've got an adversary. We figured out how to beat him and all the rest of it.
I second what Giles is saying, because, as I said, I watched it twice. So the first time I was like, no, this is dead. It's a bit boring. But then when I watched it the second time, I liked it a lot more. Even though it was only a day apart, I had time to actually sit with it. And there was things I was noticing that I didn't notice the first time. And I looked back through my notes and I was like...
Like what? What made this... No. I'm really trying to understand this. What made this film entertaining to you? And I'll just put this as a precursor. Cinematography, yeah? I'm starting to think it's not actually that hard to make a film look good if you're using a certain type of camera, certain style, and you're doing certain things. It's not that hard. So
why do you say that?
Because the cinematography in the film was great.
It was.
I think the way that he shot the landscapes, the close-ups, the way that he kind of...
So why are you saying that's easy though?
Because you'll get that from...
You don't think that was intentional?
No, because most films that, from my perspective, that I watch, most films that I watch, I'm getting that vibe from them. But that's what I need to know, Carl, because for me, I get the whole messages thing, but it was so slow. The pacing was horrible, and the messages he was trying to bring across weren't really clear. And I'm not trying to say, I need to know everything in a film from start to finish. I walk out and I know exactly what everything means. No, go and do your research. But I just felt that the film was boring. Daniel Kaluuy, we know, can act, but I don't think there was anything, out of this world or that we haven't seen before in his performance. Keke Palmer was borderline annoying, but added a comedic value, which I understand. Outside of them two, the other characters, was I supposed to care about the guy, Dupe? Was I supposed to, like, the guy that installed the cameras? Was I supposed to care? The weird director, what the hell was that about? Like, there wasn't anything
great
in
voice,
this
though, didn't he? He had a great voice, didn't he?
He did, to be fair. That really made me want to know what was going to happen next or what was going on. And then when the whole reveal with the alien, I just thought, what? This is just it was just a bit too disjointed for me, a bit too random.
But didn't you think that, so the actual scenes with the alien, didn't you find them entertaining?
After I'd seen the first two, I was like, okay. And again, this is my thing with aliens, yeah? We've been spoiled. We've been spoiled. We've seen it all now. So if you're going to step into the alien realm, you either have to, one, do it in a graphic sense where, for example, the first time we saw, what's the name of the alien in Alien? I can't remember the name, but the first time you see that and it's a spectacle, the dripping teeth, the big long head, the sound, like it's got that wow factor to it. If you're not going to go that way, you're going to go psychological, then I need to feel like almost like scared or squeamish of what is this alien going to look like? How's it going to sound? What's it going to use the suspense to create the entertainment? Bro, some flying thing moving bare fast in the air, and then almost like a flying saucer. So that's how I was like, is this an alien? Is it a flying saucer?
No, but when
it was.
I thought it was beautiful. It was eerie. It was eerie to me. The word I would use is eerie.
See, now that's how I know you ain't been out in a while, mate. You ain't been out in a while. Beautiful, you
No,
know.
when it even towards the end when it really opens up and it is like.
Have you not seen Finding Nemo? Have you not seen the scene with the jellyfish? You're a David Attenborough guy as well, so I can't believe you're saying
But
that.
it was an alien.
Maybe that's why you're saying that. Maybe that's why you're saying that.
But wait. So the man who hasn't been to the cinema said to the other man that you haven't been out enough to see what you're saying.
Because he called the alien in Nope beautiful. I'm sorry.
It was eerily
I'm not having
beautiful. It was
I'm not having
eerily beautiful. I liked the actual look of the alien. I really did. I thought that's what I'm saying. I was entertained, but I completely agree with you. The pacing was off. So you're gonna know where my rating is anyway, because there's definitely pacing issues. But I like the messages that he presented, and I like the scenes when the alien is around. I thought they were quite suspenseful. I did. I didn't think they were boring. It just took too long to get to that part.
Get there.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Sorry, Giles. What messages took place? Just so we're both all four of us are all clear.
Do you want to
on the
go
same
through
things.
all of it, or
Well, just the main ones. You know, the main outliers.
Els, what message did you get?
What did you get? Oh yeah.
And again, I didn't even pick up on this until Amber said it. I think I would have got it, but she was very much. And again, this might just be where I'm African, she's Caribbean. I didn't have pets growing up. But when it comes to animals, I wouldn't say I'm an animal guy. I've got fish now, but that's as far as my kind of love for animals goes, whereas she's got a dog. And so her thing straight away was very much the message of looking after animals. The message that I kind of picked up on after Amber said was the whole exploitation of animals, looking after and caring for animals, which made sense, obviously, with the whole Hayward family, with the horses, Duke being a child star, working with animals, and then the animal lashed back, and then he's grown up and for some reason now turned to exploiting animals. So that was the only message I kind of got. Outside of that, everything else I'd say would be a reach, so I'll move it on.
Even from did you capture the Bible verse right at the start of the film? Yeah.
I didn't dwell on it, no.
Okay. I will read it back to you. I will pelt you with filth. I will treat you with contempt and make you a spectacle. So based on that, you would have easily got the animal stuff again, just using them and not to mess around with animals. But even outside of that, just Hollywood in general, did you get the messages, what they were saying about Hollywood?
No, but based on you now asking me that question, I could work it out. For example, the whole TMZ bit, and it's all about making money, exploiting. It's something we can use to generate revenue, basically.
I feel like each character had its own kind of quite distinctive message. So, for example, Keke Palmer's character, I can't really recall much I've seen Keke Palmer in. I know Keke Palmer in. I know she's been around a long time. She's been acting since she was a little girl. But she was quite annoying. She did come across like a really budget Tiffany Haddish, who's equally annoying. But yeah, like a toned down Tiffany Haddish who'd been out in the desert looking at aliens. But anyway, so for example, like her whole thing was obviously her family business was horses. Yeah, and if you go back to when they first went to the movie set, and they had the whole kind of spiel written about, you all know who the name of the guy who was who shot the video, but you don't know the name of the guy who was in the video. Yeah, and he's our relative, but we ain't getting no credit for that. So her whole thing was, hold on, nah. Yeah, I want fame and fortune, but I want my family's name recognized. And again, that's something that happens all too often. Do you understand what I'm saying? So again, it's not an obvious message, but it is. Do you understand what I'm saying? So again, it's only, like I said, it just took too long to get there.
Yeah, but what happened when we got there, though? When we got there, it just kind of turned into, like, I understand, like, these kind of slow burner, read between the lines, I'm going to show you something. Let it fester. Think about it. I get that. But again, I just don't know if using the whole alien element was that successful, or was that it didn't work. It really didn't work. Like, because again, one would think that, okay, cool, in this scenario, I'm supposed to care about this animal rather than just, oh, it's an alien, we got to kill, we got to. But I didn't give a monkeys because it was just too silly.
But weren't you interested in what was going on?
No, because nothing else around. No, because all right, the bottom line is this is an alien film. Yeah, this is a sci-fi, or it's a thriller, but it's got a sci-fi element. Yeah. No, it has, because we're talking about flying things around and aliens. So that's what it is.
It's a sci-fi film, but there is thriller.
I wouldn't say it's an alien.
What was thrilling about this film? What was thrilling? What made you want to know what's going to happen next? Outside of the fact, okay, we've established there's a UFO. So what's going to happen next? They're going to either kill it or they're going to catch it.
Well, maybe the motives as to what was going on, because again, initially you thought, you saw a UFO, but it wasn't just a UFO.
Exactly.
It was an actual entity.
Yeah.
And like Carl said, and again, even the entity that we were seeing throughout the film, that only revealed itself in the last 15 minutes of the film anyway.
Yeah. So I wanted to know what was going on.
Yeah, the storyline wasn't. If that was more like thrilling, if it made me care, or there was a bit more sort of like depth to the storyline itself, then maybe I would have cared. But I think they kind of just fleeted around the storyline because Jordan was more concerned about the last message that we see with the whole, okay, animals caring through it. Obviously, Daniel Kaluuya's character has been the same throughout, from obviously in the beginning when you see him talking about don't, look in the horse's eye and all the rest of it. But it didn't go anywhere. I didn't care. I didn't care enough about anyone in this film. I started off at first watching his dad die. I thought, okay, that's a strong way to start. But then outside of that, and I think it was even more kind of confusing with this subplot showing Dupe's story. Like, it just didn't work. For me, it didn't work. And I was very bored in this film. I think Jordan Peele is I can tell he's a very smart guy in it. He's very smart. But like we saw with Nolan, I think there's a thin line between trying to tell a story in a very smart way and actually just making something that's codswallop, in my opinion. And that doesn't go anywhere, doesn't entertain, doesn't do anything. Obviously, going off the back of your previous works, I know a lot of people will be sitting, I believe more people will be sitting on my side of the fence with this was dead, as opposed to someone maybe sitting on you guys' side thinking, there was a deep element, there was this, there was that.
Els, do you know what you say that? I'm just looking at the metrics of Nope, and it got a 30 odd thousand votes on IMDb, and it got a 7.4,
which we'll get into later because it shares the same rating as Bullet Train.
Yeah,
but anyway, we'll get into
82 and 82% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
So it's done well. Maybe do you know what? Maybe it is the whole animal lover or the caring element that has captivated people. I don't know. I'm just saying it from my point of view, my perspective.
I think that it's I think it's one of these films that's Marmite. Maybe Jordan Peele is Marmite. Literally, you'll either it's not for everyone, but there are some people that absolutely love it.
Yeah, and I think the majority of people.
I'd hate to meet them in a dark alley. I tell you.
I think the majority of people is more deeper than just like going out there to watch a film like Bullet Train where you don't really need to think. I think that's probably the differences. Whereas a lot of people might, this was actually quite deep, and start having conversations. That's when I watch with Toast, I start having a lot of conversation with her afterwards about, what do you think this mean? What did you think that mean? And that, I like a film that will challenge me to have those sort of conversations after the fact. So that rating makes sense.
Granted, but that doesn't. Yeah, no, it does. It does. My opinion, I think, well, that's any film should make you do that. Do you know what I mean? No matter how deep it is, no matter how laid it is, I think any film is a talking point of discussion.
The film was about animals. There was an alien. I liked the difference. I can give you my rating now, and we can carry on by day. Like, to be fair, I'm not gonna go watch it again, but I've watched it. Thumbs up.
But I feel like you haven't. discussed anything about the film. You just said
Yeah, you've just
you were entertained, but maybe
because there was elements of it that I liked. It was very simple. Like for me, I told you the elements that I liked. I liked the change from Juju to sci-fi because I like sci-fi. It was a big part for me. It was a bit. Oh, I wasn't expecting.
At what part did you think there was Juju though?
That's what I was going to ask. There weren't
in
no
my
Juju.
mind.
There wasn't any.
If it's anything that says horror,
Had you had a drink when you went in there, Maury?
I had never had a drink before I go to cinema. But like I said, anytime I see horror in my mind,
cinema with you, blatantly been drinking.
I don't know what drink. What water? Yes, of course. I drink water like a
Sicario 2.
Okay. We did not go to cinema to see Sicario 2.
No, me and Amari, we went to Sicario 2, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, with me.
Was you there as well, Giles?
Yeah, I was there. That's the first time I met Amari.
Well, I thought that was mile 22.
That was the first time I bloody met you, you fucker. What's wrong here?
Yeah, didn't we go like Fulham or something?
Went 02.
Is it 02?
Yeah, it's always 02. It's always 02 or Wandsworth. But anyway, back to the matter at hand. I like the film. I didn't really get many of the messages. To be fair, I won't lie to you. I saw the biblical quote at the beginning. I realized it was a biblical quote, and I was like, "Ooh, I don't know if it's going to be the film for me," because I'm a bit sway. But I said, okay, let me respect it. It was very slow, but it reminded me of Ad Astra on its slowness for me. I won't lie. I can give it.
But even with Ad Astra, and again, look, we're talking about two different themes here in one sentence. Well, actually, that doesn't matter because you could have a film in space and it be slow and boring. Because I don't think Ad Astra was. But even with Ad Astra, it didn't go too long without something happening that created some sort of suspense or questions.
But Ad Astra is quite linear.
Yeah, but it's still boring
in terms of its.
You could be linear and boring. You could be unlinear
this
and boring.
Isn't linear.
I found it boring.
Yeah, but okay. But this.
Yeah, but you're crazy with that.
Fair
shit,
enough.
So it's okay.
I found Midsummer.
Yeah, but
no.
You already.
Well, we can go back and forth, and
I'm not going to be.
We can go back and forth
by these slanderous.
It's been 2 years. Listen, it's been 2 years. Just allow me, okay? If I want to get you, if I want to start triggering you, then allow me to trigger you. I've not triggered you in 2 years.
No, you haven't watched it with the correct eyesight. It's okay. It's not your fault.
So again, what I said earlier on about the fact that each kind of, for me, each individual character was kind of had their own kind of symbolism and whatever. Daniel Kaluuya's character, OJ, for me, it was like, okay.
In what sense?
He just, for me, he kind of represented black people in the sense that, the bit where, he clocked very early on, don't look at the alien. And there's shit that goes on and we're just going to, be submissive, bow our head, just and hope it doesn't engulf us, so to speak. Yeah.
But even before that, even just based on when he said his name's OJ and the reaction of the woman.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, exactly. The raw, really, we've already and even that the actress's response was kind of like, hang on, we've already had an OJ.
Exactly. Scared,
I'm a white woman
based off the name.
Have you got any gloves on you or whatever? Do you know what I mean? Just based off the name. But yeah, but then there are times we know as black people that we've got to kind of we have to look into the storm. Do you understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, we got to know when to say, nah, this shit ain't for me. So I think so his like I said, my only real issue on reflection with this film is the fucking pay. It didn't warrant.
It's only 2 hours.
Is it 2 hours? Well, it didn't warrant the amount of time.
What you think it could be done? You think it should be done in an hour and a half?
No, I feel like there was a lot. I feel like there was, especially in the first half, there was too much. It's like, okay, if it was a game of football, you have 45 minutes. You have 45 minutes, 90 minutes across the board. I feel like this was 70 minutes. And then 20 minutes. The second half was 20 minutes. So the first half for me felt like 70 minutes. And then the second half felt like 20 minutes. And that is my biggest issue. Like, why did it take? And it was like 70 minutes was like 0-0. Nothing was happening. Like, yeah, they're just passing it along the back, and then by the second half, like now everyone's attacking. That's what it felt like to me, and that for me was the biggest issue. So by the time we got to kind of the grand reveal, okay, this makes sense. I get what's going on now. I understand. You kind of, I'm like you, Els. I'm kind of tapped out. Like, I don't care anymore because you've just taken 70 minutes to get there.
Yeah, and that's why I say you probably won't. But if you watch it the second time, because I'm going in, I know what it's about.
Well, I will. I just won't. I won't. I mean, if I tell you the journey, sorry, Carl.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying if I go in and the second time I went there, I knew obviously what it was at the end, so now I can actually sit and enjoy it and actually unpick everything that's going on. Like even the first 5 minutes, there's a shot of everything that's about to happen within the film. It shows the flags, it shows the horse, it shows the wish. He set up. That's what I say. You have to watch it again to really see. He sets up how the movie is going to end right at the beginning. So there's things I was appreciating. I was like, raw, I didn't, and you wouldn't clock that because you don't know what's going to happen. But when you watch it again, trust me.
But I think that again, and this is my thing, yeah, because there's certain tropes that filmmakers use in bare films, and I'm not going to say that a film is good just because it's doing something that a lot of films kind of do. I'll go back and watch this again, and granted, you're always going to see things you didn't clock, and you're always going to hear things like, oh, okay, but is that enough to suddenly change my opinion of a film which fundamentally took a long time to get to something which I don't think was executed in an entertaining way? I just thought the film was very boring. Even if you want to look at, like, for example, the script, the way they're talking, nothing was, and again, Keke Palmer was one of the annoying characters, but she played her part well. Again, Kaluuy, you know what to expect. There was the only role I've seen him play where I've been like, nah, he has just acted out of his shoes was Black Messiah, Judas and the Black Messiah. I thought that was brilliant. That really showed his level of acting. This, with no disrespect to him, but it's almost like he's coasting. Like he knows I can play the kind of cool, mysterious character. I'm not really saying, like, there wasn't anything in his performance that I thought, oh, that's a great performance. Keke Palmer did well. She kept it very light, consistent. Outside of those two, what's there to really say about any of the other characters in the film? Am I going to remember their performances? Am I going to remember anything about them from the film? No, I'm not. It was boring. It was boring. But anyway, I'm giving this film 2 stars. Outside of the way it looked, there's not really much else to say. No performance really stood out for me. The plot was, it was quintessentially, we've discovered an alien life form. We need to make a decision on what we're going to do with it. And I think the way that was executed was poor. The messages in the film, as I said, the main one that I picked up on from Amber was the whole care to animals. And I think that's a very good message. You don't always, I couldn't tell you a film where that's kind of been the theme. I don't know if you boys can, but I like that he did that. I like what Amari said in, highlighting another sort of pivotal, what's the word? Like a black person that has, has their bit in history.
A black moment that has influence.
Yeah. That has exactly that we don't hear about, you don't speak about. So I learned something from this film. I was like, oh, okay, that was cool. But outside of that, yeah, in terms of entertainment value, rewatchability, it's low for me. So I'm going to give this film 2 stars.
I'm going to give it 2 stars as well, but only because, because of the pacing and how long it took to get to the point. I feel like, I used a football analogy earlier, but I just feel like if it was equally done in terms of slowness and then, gathering pace and stuff happening, then it would have probably got a 3 and it would have probably got an enjoyment from me. So would I watch it again?
I agree with that.
Would I watch it again? Do you know what? I probably will watch it again. The fucking rigmarole it took me to watch this film is a madness. I didn't watch this. I didn't even watch this at Cineworld.
Oh.
Yeah, I paid. I think I paid to watch it.
There's a lot
I did. I just there was extenuating circumstances.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, I probably spent about 40 quid with Eats to fucking watch this movie. But yeah, it's a 2. But I will. I already know there's Cody versions pending. So I'll yeah. If someone's got Cody, can they? I'll come to their house and watch it.
Kyle, what are you rating this film, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Similar reasons to Giles. I didn't like the pace in it. It took a bit too long to get to the point. But again, I did enjoy. Upon second watch, I did enjoy a lot of the messages that I kind of missed on the first watch. As I said, I thought the way the alien was shot was beautiful, and the way he sets up every single scene, there's a certain eeriness that was surrounding the whole film, which had me a bit uneasy. So I enjoyed it from that aspect. I thought, again, like you said, the performances, they were nothing special, but they were solid. And again, when I watched Keke Palmer, I was like, she's just annoying me. She's annoying me. But then she's meant to be playing the annoying little sister. So I'm like, okay, she's doing her job. So on that basis, I was like, oh, fair enough. Didn't like the guy from the warehouse, the tech shop. He was a bit annoying as well. Didn't really understand why he was even in the film. But even with him, again, the theme for him was about privacy. They told him not to watch the camera, but he still done it. So that's not. We haven't gone into it. What did you say, Omari? Idiot.
Idiot boy. Idiot.
Yeah. Carl, did you not think that with what was his name? Was it Angel?
Yeah, Angel. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So did you not think with him? His whole thing was, I don't want to miss out. I don't know what's going on. I know something big is about to happen, but I don't like his whole, because
do you know what it was? For me, it seemed like, why was he so intrigued like that? They went into the store
because he didn't want to miss out. He was a nobody.
He's an inner
that didn't want to.
He is an inner, but I was like,
he was too inner. He was too inner.
Okay, yeah, you go into a store, you're buying video equipment. They don't really want to say. Does that mean you then like, okay, he's onto
because
something?
He got real comfortable in their house real quick,
and I didn't understand his initial obsession
and his aftercare was second to none.
If only it could be like that. He was on job, but I didn't think it really fit his initial stage. So, but he had his own themes as well. So, yeah, all in all, I'm gonna give it 3. I thought it was okay. Second watch was a lot better than the first watch. But yeah, the pacing just let it down.
And Amari, what star rating you giving up?
2.
Hold on.
Is that all you're saying, Amari?
Hold on.
Listen, right? It's a film that centers around animals, and I think it's about horror. Then turns into sci-fi.
You think guys? He thinks it's about horror.
Is it about animals though, or is it about
because
Hollywood?
Every time I saw a picture of it, it's about a fucking horse. So there's an animal in it.
What did the horse represent?
Animal.
Hollywood. Anyway, we can have a conversation another time.
No, we can have a conversation right now. This is wrenching. Yeah, mine, not yours, mine. None of you 3, mine. There's an animal. Fuck the animal. Goldfish only. Goldfish is too much. We're thinking about it, but fuck it. We'll continue our day, right? It gets 2 stars because I did like it. Was entertaining. Hey, so what do you want me to do? I respect it.
I just wanted you to elaborate a bit more. That's all.
I didn't elaborate enough for you. Do you want more elaboration?
Listen, Carl, we've been rolling. Listen, we've been rolling for 57 minutes and 9 seconds, and the most elaboration Amari's done is to fucking disappear from the recording. That's the most elaboration he's done. It's a slightly subdued. What's happened to you, Amari, in the last 2 years? I feel like you're holding back. Like what is going on?
Yeah.
Is it like a fuck it? I'm going to get Jordan Peele on the phone, and he can do a movie about what's happened to Amari in the last 2 years. Because something's amiss. You are.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're suspiciously subdued.
I'm a quiet guy from South London.
You fuck off, are you?
Not having quiet guy.
Clearly, he's Jordan Peele. He's been influenced by. He's got his influences. I think.
Wait.
Go on, Murray.
No, sir. Who do you think he's been influenced by?
Okay. So, what's my guy who done? Is it George Carpenter?
All the horrors.
Yes.
Day of the Dead.
No, that's
that's
Romero.
Romero. Sorry, that's Romero.
So the
Sorry,
thing,
yeah.
so there was elements. So there was kind of elements. If anyone's seen the thing, classic movie. Ironically, it features. Is it David Keith?
Yes, yeah.
It features David.
Yeah.
Is it David Keith or Keith
Yeah.
David? No, Keith
Yeah, it
David's
is.
the
I
white
think
guy.
it is.
David Keith's the
Thing
black
is
guy.
dad.
Yeah, who features the dad. Keith David. Yeah. Also, a little part of me feels like, especially the second half, with the whole chase, with the whole alien chasing them and the rest of it. I got Jaws vibes, man. I blatantly got Jaws vibes. That whole, like, if you go back and it's like the simple, enemy, potential prey,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like do what you got to do to get away.
So that gives Nope a TMRG star rating of 2 stars.
Oh.